Hello, comrades. My name is Erik Helgeson. I'm the deputy chairman of the Swedish Dockworkers Union, and I'm also the head of our bargaining team heading into the national contract negotiations. Our national contract in Sweden ends at the beginning of May, and there's going to be a very intensive period in the coming months for us. That is not why I'm speaking to you now, though, because other developments have stressed the need for information in English, and I'm here to do that concerning something that happened personally to me in the beginning of February, but which started a while back. So in December of 2024, the Swedish Dockworkers Union decided on a national referendum amongst the members on whether or not to initiate a blockade against military cargo going to and from Israel. Such political action is protected in Swedish law, but there are certain requirements concerning the length of a blockade and the impact that has to be taken into concern. However, the membership voted with a clear majority. I think it was 68% of the members voted in favor of such a blockade in sympathy with the civilian population and the Palestinian trade unions in Gaza and elsewhere. The blockade was supposed to take effect in January and last for a week, but it was challenged in the courts. This is very normal in the Swedish circumstances, but that process meant that we had two special meetings in the court with the employers' organization concerning the legality of the blockade against military cargo. At the end of that, at the end of January, we were expecting a verdict on whether or not we could start the blockade on the 4th of February. However, before that, I personally worked my usual shift, a long week, at the Ro-Ro terminal where I work. And at the end of my Sunday shift, I was contacted by the employer stating that I had to come to a meeting on February the 3rd concerning my statements and actions. That was all they said. On Monday, I showed up with my union reps and a lawyer because I was really concerned already by then, but still surprised when the company at that meeting told me that I was given notice about being laid off in regards to supposed breaches of the Swedish Security Act or Swedish law in relation to the blockade that the union had decided on through a referendum. This was around 10:30 in the morning. We got back to the union. I was pretty shocked. I did not expect them to act this way, and I also felt very exposed on a personal level. But as the employer refused to make any statements except for these few lines that I already told you, we were discussing what to do next when the phone rang. And it was Swedish Public Radio asking me about a press release from the company that they had been sent, which contained the message that an employee had been given notice about being laid off or terminated in relation to national security. This is the wording used for situations concerning spies and, yeah, very serious criminality in the Swedish context. This shocked us and me personally quite a bit. It also made me very, very, how to put this, concerned for the health and safety of my family. This is something unheard of in the Swedish labor market, and it's an action that was really hard to comprehend. And I was very worried, not only for myself, but also for my children. As the day moved on, things started to surface. There was also news on the 4th. Yeah, sorry, I forgot the relevant point. After this, we were informed by the Swedish Labor Court that the blockade has been unanimously judged to be within the legal limits, and there were no obstacles to go through with the blockade, as the union had decided. This is a preliminary ruling, but it was unanimous. A lot of people reacted to this in different ways. For some, it was seen as obvious that this was in retaliation of the blockade itself. For others, the blockade was just a pretext for doing something that would eventually hurt the union, and really lacked any relation to the actual issue of the civilian population in Gaza and military material to and from Israel. I won't comment on that. The union has commented on it extensively. But as the week moved on, I was informed by the media that there was, in fact, a police report submitted by the company, as they had told me on Monday. But already on Tuesday, it was made clear that the police and other responsible authorities had already written off the allegations. As time moved on, I got access to the police report, which said that I had, in a specific article in a local newspaper where I was interviewed, tried to incite employees in the port, in my port where I work, to outline dangerous cargo positions. I was also accused of urging members and others to break into containers and trailers and so on. There was actually nothing in the article or any other media statements that we've made in the last months before this happened that ever related to either my employer or the port of Gothenburg, where I work and live. I have only acted as the national spokesperson for the blockade, and there were no references to my employer at all in the article. Of course, we have never ever incited anyone to break into trailers or containers to check its content. We are very aware that this is a crime, even if there's a blockade going on, and we have made several public statements on national broadcasts to this effect. Okay, moving on. Allegations were written off by the authorities, but the employer kept a very steady course. They didn't change their position in any way. And
10 minuter.
Okay, I'll speed this up. But as things move along, the general impression is that the grounds for my termination are shifting towards a more personal focus, but also containing statements about my actions that are actually factually wrong. The union has been in contact with some companies in regard to the blockade, for example. This action is referred to something, or referred to by the company as something I've been responsible for. This has not been my responsibility, and I have not had any contacts with any customers to any port in relation to the blockade. There are other factually wrong things in their allegations. I won't go into the motives or the speculations of the union why I am being targeted this way. There are several other sources of information in that regard. But the union has decided that the best protection for me, as I've been brutally exposed, me and my family, in this process, is to be as transparent as possible about all the facts. So the union has publicized an article in English now also, which is available. I think Amanda will post it in the comments, where you can actually see what I'm being accused of now, what I was accused of in the police report, and the union's response to all of this. After the press release and an article in which my employer confirmed that I was the person being laid off, there has been no comments, no public comments to the media, to us, and the company has refused all to answer any questions about my case. As this moves on, it's a bit of a nightmare, but I still have my union obligations. I'm hoping to get back to work as soon as possible, but with the upcoming national contract negotiations, I'm asking all our friends around the world to keep an eye on this, to make sure you know the facts, and be prepared if it turns out to be a very lively contract negotiation this year. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Sorry for taking so much time.